Forbo decided to get involved in the festival because firstly we were asked by Hemingway Design. We also feel it's quite important to be part of the community where we manufacture. It's a really nice festival to get involved with because it changes the dynamic and the way we look at our product. So it adds just an extra aesthetic and creativity to what we're doing.
It's been brilliant to be teamed up with a textile manufacturer, you know, to sort of really push the ambition of my work, and also to take on that challenge of working with brand new materials in a totally new context. The journey I take when I'm making new work is to really just play and experiment in the studio. The materials themselves are really important, how the materials are, how they behave under different actions. So what happens if a fabric is cut, what happens if yarn is wrapped around fabric. You know, I'll just experiment and work quite freely with my hands.
Our process for creating a new carpet tile range, it is similar, but obviously there's far more commercial element to what we do, and also far more technical elements because the products that we make have to meet a heavy contract specification. It's a kind of juxtaposition of creativity, of looking at trends. It's a very three-dimensional process because we also develop the yarn that we use in each of our products, the product itself in terms of the tufting construction, and finally the colour range that we work with.
The first piece is called Cut Tuft, and this is using the Tessera Chroma yarn as a base for the piece. I've created these sort of carpet beads out of leftover materials from the factory and some new materials that were created for me. The top cloth's been created on a smaller sample tuft machine at the Forbo factory, which is used to test out colourways when the designers are creating new collections.
The yarn that we use to create the Tessera Chroma collection is actually unique to us. We designed that yarn from an existing yarn and we combined it to make a much thicker, more chunky yarn, so that when we create a product from it, you get this really beautiful loop texture. That it's not just a normal level loop, there's just some fantastic life and body going on with the product.
The second piece, Offcut Cord, is in part inspired by my Huguenot ancestors. This piece uses a process of gathering the yarn, so I've sort of created these long strands and then they're highly coloured with some of the Tessera Chroma materials and leftover yarns. Now I can see the work on the wall completed. I realise that it's rather like loop pile carpet. The third piece is called Offcut Ends, and this is inspired by me witnessing the arrangement of some of the yarns in the factory prior to being tufted or as they're being guided into the tufting machines. In order for the factory to change colour from one carpet to the next, they will bond or they will heat seal the colours together. So it sort of relates to different textile processes. The last piece is a little extra, and this is actually made of my offcuts, so the things that are left over from my making process. I just really love the effect of those changeover fabrics. So there's little echoes between the works where I've tried to kind of make sense of what I've experienced at the factory, but like reflect it back, but in a simple way. I was really delighted actually by the challenge of working with quite a specific material, and it's always interesting to see the audience's reaction. It's always a nice moment to just sort of stand back and watch people go up to the work and talk to each other about it and point and, you know, have a curiosity about it.